Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live. This is exciting. We are on our fourth live today. We are, talking about how we are preparing for the high holidays, and we've been talking about people who are, so far getting anxiety from the high holidays, which is now less than a month away. We then spoke about what are the differences between the high holidays and the secular New Year. And we spoke about how resolutions don't necessarily work. You see, people add New Year's resolutions in order to bring meaning and purpose into their lives. And for some reason, 80% of them seem to fail within the first 30 days. And so now we are on our very next topic. We'll talk about how and why it's important to evaluate and to elevate. There are going to be two more lives after this that are going to break these down further and talk about what is evaluate and what is elevate. However, I want to give you a little bit of a context of what we are talking about here and why they are so important. So the very first thing is, why would we want to evaluate and elevate ourselves? Well, it's a great time and a great opportunity to self-reflect. You see, when we are evaluating something, we take the time to sit down and to evaluate our life, our every process, everything that we do within ourselves. And so this opportunity to come into the high holidays is a chance to do just that, to focus in within ourselves and to evaluate how our year went by. What is it going to be? And maybe perhaps even prepare for the coming year and to elevate each month that is going to be coming. Now, it's very important in order to be successful at this. We want to focus on the positivity. And we all get overwhelmed when we start thinking about, well, I wasn't that great this past year or whatever it was. But when we really focus in on what each month, what every day means to us in a more positive, in a more effective manner, that will help us to get better prepared and less anxious and less overwhelmed. It is a wonderful and awesome opportunity. So let's break this down just a little bit. What does it mean to evaluate? So every month of the Jewish year, at least, has a unique lesson or something very unique about that month happens. For example, in the high holidays, it's the month of Tishrei. And the entire month of Tishrei is this positive and great time, a great opportunity. Then you have another month would be Adar. A very famous month is Adar, which is a month where we are the Exodus from Egypt happened during Purim happened. Nisan is the month of the Exodus from Egypt. Every month has its own uniqueness to it, and there are so many lessons to learn from each and every month that are such wonderful opportunities to take that into our day-to-day life, and we could learn these lessons and we could apply these lessons into our everyday life. So this is a great time to sit down and evaluate every month for what it is and what is that unique lesson that we get a chance to learn from. And then what we get to do is that we get a chance to elevate those months by applying those lessons that we've learned. So every day that we are focusing in on another aspect of something that's happening within our life, we now have that opportunity to elevate it by learning that lesson and applying that lesson. So what would you think would be the outcome of that? Well, you are simply going to be better prepared. And that's what we were talking about, that preparation is the importance of how we come to these high holidays and how we could have a much better and a more profound holiday. We don't have to come with all these anxieties. We don't have to come with with all these hardships, and we don't have to be fearful of it. In fact, when we come and we take the time to sit down and to evaluate and then to elevate each day and every month, now we come to the prayers so much better prepared that we could come and say, hey, God, guess what? I prepared for this. I'm so ready to pray with a great uplifting moment because here are the lessons that I learned, and here are my, so to speak, resolutions to better perform in the coming year. In another discussion, after we break each one of these down further, we're going to be talking about how to really, really, really prepare very carefully, that we don't just come and resolute in this way of like, oh, I'm going to do better and I'm just going to be this great performing person or whatever, but rather what's going to be is that we are going to take the lessons that we learned from the elevate and evaluate, or evaluate and elevate. We're going to take those lessons from there, and we are going to slowly apply them in bite-sized pieces into our day-to-day life and how we could better perform for the coming year. So the very next topic is going to be, what does it mean to evaluate? What does it mean? What does it take to evaluate something? The next step would be, well, what does it mean to elevate something? And then we are going to talk about how to better prepare, in terms of performance, that we want to really focus on, we want to focus on progression rather than perfection. We don't want to be perfect people. We're never going to be perfect people, but at least we should strive towards that direction. And the only way we could really do that is through evaluating and elevating, and then applying those tactics and those tools into our everyday life to progress in our performance. So I'm going to open up. I see a couple of comments coming in. I see Philip saying, hello, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. And I have, my wife, Liam, thank you so much. She's asking, how do we apply the lessons from 1 month to the entire year? That's a great question. That's actually, we're going to be covering that on Evaluate in the next topic, when we are going to be focusing really deeply on how do we evaluate each and every single, how do we evaluate each and every single month to better perform in our year. So thank you so much for your comments. Keep them coming, keep asking. Remember, these are only 10-minute lives, so I will only cover only a handful of the comments. And you could always email me. You could always email me for further questions, or further, you could connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever we are, Bizfluence. And feel free, email the questions, email the concerns. If you have any fears that you are facing or anxieties, there are so many ways to apply these lessons. I was asked about, whether this is a Jewish thing or not. Yes, this particular series is for a Jewish community, just because the Jewish high holidays are coming. However, there are many, many lessons that we could all apply into our day-to-day life, no matter who you are and no matter what religion you're from. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining this live. Thank you so much for watching the replay. Thank you so much for engaging. I truly appreciate it. And let's see you soon on Tuesday, August the 17th at 1 p.m. Again, same place, same time, only for 10 minutes. I have to run. This has been 10 minutes. So thank you so much for joining, everybody, and we will see you soon. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.